Hello, everybody. Welcome to our third session of Mindful Self-Compassion. Um, Today, I will be recording this session and you can watch it again on the library's YouTube. And yeah, let's just get started. I have the presentation ready for us. I was actually just editing it there as I came on. And excuse me, I still have this cold with my baby being in nursery. It's a nightmare. I just get everything constantly, and I'm constantly got a cold. So let me see where we are. Okay, let's pause, breathe. If you can, if you're lucky enough to be able to breathe in through your nose, please breathe in through your nose. Roll your shoulders. And ask yourself the quintessential self-compassion question. What do I need? You can put your hand on your heart even and close your eyes and just say, what do I need right now? And hopefully it's not something that's going to take you away from the class. If you need to go, you realize you need something. Otherwise, stay with me and I'll talk about self-compassion. So what's coming up today? What is compassion? Supportive touch. What is self-compassion? We exercise called the self-compassion break. Why we should be more self-compassionate. A loving kindness practice and some recommendations and resources for you. Excuse me. Okay, what is compassion? Compassion is derived from the Latin words meaning how we're with, which is calm, suffering, passion. So being with suffering is what compassion actually means. Think about times when you felt compassion for a close friend who was suffering. First, to experience compassion, you have to actually notice that your friend is struggling or feeling badly about themselves. Second, is that you feel compassion rather than pity. You realize that suffering, failure, imperfection is part of the shared human experience. You basically know that and understand that idea of, there for the grace of God go I. Finally, you respond to your friend with warmth, understanding, and kindness, feeling the desire to help in some way. And that definition can be broken down into three elements, the three main elements of compassion, which are mindfulness, which is just awareness and noticing suffering, common humanity, realizing that everybody suffers, and responding with kindness. And then we have compassion. So it's good to really understand what it is that we're talking about. Paul Gilbert is the UK's top compassion researcher, and he says compassion is the deep awareness of the suffering of oneself and other beings, coupled with the wish and effort to alleviate it. So I like to say compassion is a verb. It's a doing word. So compassion involves actually doing something. Excuse me. Self-compassion is treating yourself as you would a best friend. That's the simplest, easiest way to understand what is self-compassion. You just treat yourself the way you would your friend or someone in your family who was suffering. How would you help them? How would you speak to them? What would you say to them? And turning it around to yourself. A bit more detail about it. There's literally books and seminars, and I teach an 8-week course just on self-compassion, so we can expand it, but the basic definition is treating yourself as you would a best friend. But self-compassion involves giving yourself the same compassion you naturally show a friend. When you're struggling or feeling badly about yourself, being supportive to yourself. When you're facing a life challenge, you feel inadequate or you make a mistake, instead of just ignoring your pain with a stiff upper lip mentality or getting carried away by your negative thoughts and emotions, stop to tell yourself, this is really difficult right now. How can I comfort and care for myself in this moment? You know, the research says that 70% of people are nicer to others than they are to themselves. So that's why this self-compassion is basically drawn out the idea of treating yourself as you would treat your friend. So yeah, it's what tends to happen is that we might say to our friend, "Oh, that's terrible, and God love you, and don't worry, it'll be fine." And but if it happens to us, we're like, "Pull yourself together, you're no good, you'll never be able to do this." You know, we have such a harsh inner voice, and yet we can We know how to do it. We know how to give compassion because we do it for others. So it's about practicing that for ourselves. So one of the easiest ways to start to introduce the practice of self-compassion is a practice called supportive touch. And I'm going to do some of that with you. We've already done it if you've been with me um, in other classes. I will have asked you to put your hand on your heart, and the hand on the heart is the easiest and probably most common, well, certainly the most common way that I do it, most common way of offering supportive touch. And you just basically put your hand on your heart, and you might think in your head, as we all do, this feels a bit silly. Why am I doing that? And what good is this doing for me? But actually, your brain doesn't feel that. Your actual physical body, your soma, feels the heat from your hand as soothing and comforting. And it's very supportive to your nervous system. Touch actually activates the car system and the parasympathetic nervous system and helps us calm down and feel safe. It might feel awkward or embarrassing at first, but your body doesn't know that. It just responds to the physical gesture of warmth and care, just as a baby responds to being cuddled in its mother's arms. Our skin is an incredibly sensitive organ. Research indicates that physical touch releases oxytocin, provides a sense of security, soothes, I can't speak with my nose, soothes distressing emotions and calms cardiovascular stress. So why not try it? You might like to try putting your hand on your body during difficult periods several times a day for at least a week. And you can actually do this what I'm doing now, which is two hands. When you need two hands, when one hand isn't enough. So there's lots of different ways that we can give ourselves soothing and supportive touch. When you're under stress, just put your hand on your heart and take 2 or 3 deep, satisfying breaths. You can even add in a mantra. I like to say that one: breathe, it'll be okay. So just allow yourself to have a couple of deep breaths here. Placing your hand over your heart, feeling the gentle pressure and warmth of your hand. Placing both hands on your chest, noticing the difference between 1 and 2 hands. You can make small circles if you like. You can move the hand. You can feel the rising and falling of the chest as you breathe in and breathe out. You can stay with this as long as you like. You can have one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. This is often a posture we use in meditation. It also helps you to allow the breath to go deeper into the body. If you like, you place 2 hands on the belly. This is a nice one to do when you're lying down in bed at nighttime. You have one hand on your cheek. You can cradle your face in your hands. And it always reminds me of the poem by Thich Nhat Hanh, where he says, I hold my face in my 2 hands to keep my loneliness warm. You can gently stroke your arms. I've seen people do this as a self-havening technique. It's a soothing technique. You'll see people online doing this little technique, called somatic activation or havening or something like that. Soma just means body. So it's about getting in touch with the body. So you can do that, or just one arm. It's easier, maybe. You can just cross your arms. You see, this is a very easy one to do. We do this, you'll see people doing this naturally. And you can just give yourself a wee arm squeeze. Just getting in touch with the body. You know, we're so much in our heads. We have to remember we have a body. Or you can just sit with one hand cupped in the other. There's different ways just to hold your hands and tell yourself that you're okay. So talking to yourself gently and deliberately doing this supportive touch can be very helpful. Would anyone like to comment or ask anything about that practice? Let's continue with our presentation. Okay. Self-compassion is, this is another definition by Christian Neff. You'll hear me refer to Christian Neff and Chris Germer as the two preeminent researchers of self-compassion who've really brought the practice of self-compassion as a therapeutic and as a kind of mindfulness practice to the world, really. They've written lots of books and they've trained lots of teachers like myself, and they've done loads of research. And Christian says, when we suffer, self-compassion is when we suffer caring for ourselves as we would care for someone we truly love. Self-compassion includes these three elements: self-kindness, a sense of common humanity, and mindfulness, basically tenderness. So we take those three elements of the definition of what self-compassion is, and we break it down into a little practice called self-compassion break. And this is the little self-compassion bracelet that you get when you do the 8-week course. And the idea is that every time you do a moment of self-compassion, you flip it over. So that's something you can do in the future. But right now, we're going to have a look at doing this self-compassion break. And for this, I'm going to ask you, as I've asked you in the previous weeks, to bring to mind a moment of suffering. So, and I don't, on a scale of 1 to 10, I don't want you to bring the worst thing, something about a 4, maybe maximum of 5. So we want to feel the frustration, the anger, the upset, the whatever the suffering is, so that we can work with it, so that we can do the self-compassion break. Okay. So I'll talk you through it. You don't need to have it there in front of you. I'm going to talk you through it. So let's start. Think of a situation in your life that is difficult, that is causing you stress. Call the situation to mind and see if you can actually feel the stress and emotional discomfort in your body. So whenever we have an emotion or feeling upset in our mind, there will always be a corresponding place in the body. Could be in the heart, the stomach, sometimes in the thighs or the jaw, just feeling tense. But you'll feel that distress in the body. And as best you can, just notice that. And when you're aware of suffering, that's mindfulness. And you can say something to yourself like, this hurts, or ouch, or this is stress. I don't like it. Yeah. So that's step 1. And step 2 says, suffering is part of life. So in step 2, we acknowledge our common humanity. We can say things to ourselves like, other people feel this way too. I'm not alone. We all struggle in our lives. Suffering is part of life. You can put your hand on your heart or adopt a soothing touch that you've discovered that felt right for you. Feel the warmth of your hands, gentle touch, and then offer yourself some kindness. You can say, may I be kind to myself. So kindness is always, always the most appropriate response to suffering. You can say, what do I need to hear right now to express kindness to myself? So if your friend or your loved one was in this difficult situation that you've been thinking about, what would you say to them? Or you can offer yourself a kind of a loving kindness phrase. You can say, may I give myself the compassion I need? Or may I learn to be kind to myself? May I forgive myself? May I be strong? May I be patient? May I learn to accept myself as I am? Yeah, and it's as simple as that. It doesn't have to take long. There's 3 steps. The first step is acknowledging suffering, realizing the suffering is part of life, just looking around and seeing that others also feel this same way. It's not going to make it better, but it will give you a bigger picture so that you're not going to spiral down into, oh, this is just happening to me. It's actually happening to lots of other people. And because I'm suffering, because it's not good right now, then I need to be kind to myself. So just may I be kind to myself. That's the third final step. Would anyone like to comment or say anything about that self-compassion break? It's difficult to be kind. Rhonda, do you mean it's difficult to be kind to yourself? Yeah, yeah. No, and that's why it's training. And the thing about this training is it's really one of those you can fake it till you make it. So you say the words, you know that you're supposed to be kind to yourself. The research shows, I'm going to show you some slides about why we should do this. Um, it's really helpful, supportive, and to our well-being. Um, but it's not something we're maybe used to because we haven't been brought up in such a way that we know how to practice and we know how to be kind to ourselves. So yeah, it's something that we do it as a way to start to create new neural pathways in our mind so that it becomes a habit rather than something we have to try to do. So yeah, at first it could be difficult if you're just used to being kind to other people. I mean, you often hear about people who are just they're so selfless to do everything for everybody else, but actually that's not very wise because in the end you burn out. In the end, you can't do it anymore. So you need to fill up your own cup as well. Look at this. Okay. So why should we do this kind of practice? Why should we offer ourselves kindness? The research shows that it leads to a reduction in negative mind states, an increase in positive mind states, gives us better coping skills when we know how to be kind to ourselves, and actually more personal accountability. It's an antidote to loneliness. You can have better relationships, healthier behaviors, healthier body image, less burnout, and compassion fatigue. There's many benefits from just being able to offer ourselves kindness. It's training in that. It's I love this slide, what they say in the airplane, put your own oxygen mask on first before you put it on your child. Because if you're busy putting the oxygen mask on the child, then by the time it comes to putting yours on, you'll have passed out because you'll not have enough oxygen to be able to do it. So then the wee child's gonna be on his own. You'll be passed out. So it's the same with the kindness. You need to give yourself kindness first so you can fill up your own cup. So then you have plenty of kindness for all the other people who need you. Yeah, that's the kind of the metaphor for how it works. Some more of the benefits. It can motivate us to achieve our goals. People think they have to be hard to motivate, saying you're no good and all that. That actually doesn't work. It might work on a temporary basis. People might perform out of fear, but actually you get more flies with honey. You really do. If you can encourage yourself in a gentle and kind way, you're gonna be able to achieve your goals better. It helps you cope with adversity, increases your resilience. It helps us take responsibility for our actions because we're not afraid to acknowledge where we've gone wrong because we can accept that we've gone wrong and we can be kind to ourselves for our mistakes. Yeah. It helps us notice our needs and caring for ourselves and others in a sustainable way that's workable. Yeah. That's not going to be exhausted and burnt out in the end. So the next practice I'm going to share with you is the loving kindness meditation. Thanks, Gail says this is wise advice. Yeah, it is, it's not just coming from me, it's come from all the teachers who've taught me and all the research they've done and all the teachers before them. So it's kind of just yeah, one of those things that it's very wise practice. And Lynn says it's a wonderful practice for people with few social contacts, older people and housebound. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And it's something you can do from the house. And also, this practice that we're going to do now, the loving kindness practice, is about, sharing our good wishes and our good vibes. So it feels like you're making a difference to the energy on the planet. So even if you are housebound and you can't go out, you can still be a source of kindness and of positivity through these kind of practices. So yeah, it's really powerful. So thank you. Let's practice. Okay. So this is a loving kindness meditation practice I'm going to do with you now. And I'm going to ask you to get comfortable. Take your seat. I've got Buddy here behind me, so I can't really move very far, but we drink to help my voice keep on going. And so, unlike the other meditations that we've done, loving kindness meditation uses words and phrases. And the loving kindness is just one of like 24 different self-compassion meditations that we can do. And the loving kindness one is a really famous one. It's also known as Metta or Maitri, and it translates as unbounded friendliness. So I like to describe it as the wee dog, the wee puppy who you've left at home all day, and you come in through the door and he's so happy to see you, and he's jumping up and full of excitement, and he's not saying, "Where did you go? Why did you leave me?" And that's terrible. You did an awful thing today. He's not judging. He's just so happy to see you. And that's what loving kindness is. It's that just complete welcome and acceptance and total love and joy. So it's very good for this time of year, Christmas time where it's goodwill to all men. It's kind of like all year round. That's what loving kindness is about. So, and actually, I did read a wee bit, and I do really like this, so I'm going to read this bit to you from Jack Cornfield, and he says that these are the blessings of the loving kindness practice. Um, so he said it's traditional to recite the blessings. He says, when your heart grows in loving kindness, your dreams become sweet. You fall asleep more easily and you waken contented. Your thoughts become pleasant and your health improves. Angels and devils will protect you, and men and women will love you as well. Animals will sense your love and not harm you, and people will welcome you everywhere. As your heart grows in loving kindness, you will be happy, and if you lose things, they will be returned to you. And even if you fall off a cliff, a tree will be there to catch you, or so it said in ancient texts. So just read those few lines. Um, I really like this idea that as we practice the loving kindness, we create good fortune. So, but it's also just in the moment we feel joyful. And I have to really emphasize again, if you don't feel it, that's okay. You just say the words, you say the phrases, and then one day it just kind of clicks in and then you will feel it. So it's a practice. It's like learning the piano or guitar or doing some kind of new skill. You don't think you can do it at the start. And the more you practice, the more you can do it. Okay. So, we're going to use traditional phrases, which are may you be happy, may you be well, may you be healthy, may you live with ease and kindness. Okay, so just do those phrases. You can always change them slightly every time you do it, but this is the ones I'll use today. So we sit in a relaxed manner. You don't have to worry about doing it right. Let the words do the work. So just drop it into your body. Focusing on the breathing, like slipping into a warm bath, bathing in the sun. Let the warmth do all the work. You can even have your hand on your heart. Taking a few deep breaths, arriving in this present moment, letting go of worries and concerns, what's happened or what's going to happen. Just be here now with me, breathing in, breathing out. The hand on the heart or another soothing place reminds us that we don't want to just bring awareness to our experience. we want to try to bring loving awareness as best we can. And every time we do it, it'll be different. And feeling your breath move in the body wherever you notice it most easily. It could be that you feel the breath at the chest, rising and falling, or maybe in the abdomen, belly rising, belly falling. If you're lucky enough to be able to breathe in the nose, you can feel the air at the nostrils, cool as it comes in, warm as it goes out. Feeling the gentle rhythm of the movement of the body with your breathing. And when your attention wanders, returning to the sensation of the gentle rhythm, breathing in your body. Now, to help us to generate feeling of loving kindness, we've got to call to mind a being whom we find easy to love. So this could be a small child, a pet, a cat or a dog, someone who's been kind to you, maybe someone who's been generous to you. If there's a being, when you think of them, you smile. You might have quite a few. Just pick one for now. And if you get a sense of this being and think how much you wish them well and how much you want them to be happy, and then we start to introduce the phrases. So we can allow the focus of the breathing to be in the background and bring a focus of our awareness onto the phrases. And you just gently repeat the phrases over and over in your mind. And we can think of this being, we say, may you be happy, may you be well, may you be healthy, may you live with ease and kindness. And the maybe phrase can be a lot, so we can just say, be happy, be well, be healthy, live with ease and kindness. The idea is just wishing well, repeating the phrases. Be happy, be healthy, be well, live with ease and kindness. You've got the idea about the warmth and the well-wishing of the loving kindness. I want to see if you can add yourself into the picture. Put yourself in relation to how you would normally be with this other being and see both of you. And see if you can wish both of you well. May you and I be happy. May you and I be well. May you and I be healthy. May you and I live with ease and kindness. Be happy, be well, be healthy. Live with ease and kindness. And then we're going to let go of the first being. We're going to thank them and focus now on our own wee self. Knowing that me as much as anyone else, you as much as anyone else, deserve your own love and affection. So although it may feel harder, and if it does feel harder, that's exactly then the reason to give yourself compassion. See if you can wish your own self well. And you say, may I be happy. May I be well. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and kindness. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and kindness. And if you're not feeling it, it's okay. You just stay with the phrases as best you can. Giving yourself compassion for the difficulty and knowing that you're not alone. Many people feel that way too, especially when they first start this. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and kindness. There's nothing to do, there's nowhere to go. Just bathe in yourself with kind words, letting these words wash over you, wash through you. Words that you need to hear. Whispering them into your own ear. And whenever you notice your mind has wandered, you can refresh your aim by offering yourself soothing or supportive touch. Just feeling the sensations in your body, coming home to your own body, and then offering yourself the phrases. Coming home to kindness for yourself. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and kindness. Now, the one thing we know about our common humanity is that all of us wish to be happy and all of us wish to avoid suffering. So if you feel like it this morning, you may like to send your loving kindness to all the other people here in the group today. There's 24 of us. And you may like to say to the others, may you be happy. May you be well. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and kindness. So send in your loving kindness out again. And you may feel more comfortable doing that than you did with sending it to yourself. We're generating those feelings of well-wishing, goodwill. May you all be happy. May you all be well. May you all be healthy. May you all live with ease and kindness. Now you're just sitting in a big bath of loving kindness. There's 23 other people sending you the loving kindness. So you're absorbing that in and then sending it, taking it in and sending it out. So we're giving and receiving at the same time. May you all be happy. May you all be well. May you all be healthy. May you all live with ease and kindness. And then lastly, if it feels right for you, you can stay just doing what you're doing right now. But if you would like to, we can send our loving kindness out further. We can send it out to our families and friends, to our neighbours, to strangers across the city, the town that we live in, through the country, through the globe, as far as you would like. You can say, may all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be healthy. May all beings live with ease and kindness. May all beings everywhere be happy, be well, live with ease and kindness. All beings, including my dog who's hard to hear, sorry. May all beings in high or low realms of existence, all beings born or to be born, all beings rich or poor, known or unknown, may all beings everywhere be happy, be well, be healthy, live with ease and kindness. And we can visualize or imagine the rays of loving kindness going out to those in suffering parts of the world. May all beings everywhere be happy, be well, be healthy, live with ease and kindness. And then we just let go of the phrases. We rest back quietly in our own body. Allow yourself to feel what you feel and be who you are. There's no right or wrong way with this. We're just breathing in peacefully, breathing out peacefully. I'll invite the bell to end the meditation. Body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of this bell. May all of us who hear it awaken from our forgetfulness and transcend all our anxieties and sorrows. We're just breathing with the sound of the bell. I do think these things, you can't really see them, you can't touch it, but it does make a difference. And, we just know this, anecdotally anyway. We go into a room, you feel like, oh, you could cut the um the energy with the knife. You feel that kind of, oh, there's tension here, and nobody's saying anything. You just feel it by walking in. It's the same thing. You can feel somebody's vibe. If they have a good vibe or good energy. Oprah Winfrey's really big on that. She has a big sign up in all her rooms that say, be mindful of the energy you bring into this room. So it's about having that kind of open-hearted energy and wishing somebody well. I think we can pick that up from each other, those kind of vibes. Yeah.
And I suppose develop that energy in ourselves.
Yeah.
We can then give out to others. Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Those kind of well wishes, they do impact us. Yeah. And we do like it at Christmas time when people send us cards and say Merry Christmas and wish us well. So it's a kind of a nice feeling that we can interact with each other. Like our words and our thoughts and our actions, they do matter. They do make a difference. So a couple of comments here. Fiona says, it's getting easier every week. That's great, Fiona. And Gail says she's much more relaxed than at the start of the session. Yeah. It operates on a different part of our brain, the loving kindness. It's on the part of the brain, which actually I'm not very good on this, but it's mindfulness operates on the part of the brain that helps us to calm and stay focused. And the loving kindness is part of the brain that's to do with warmth and good feeling. So yeah, I'll give you they're both important, but the loving kindness is also helpful. Okay, I'm going to finish with a bit more of my slides. I also have a poem for you. Let's see where I have in the slides. Yes, the recommended practice is to do 10 to 15 minutes of daily meditation practice. You can use that as your loving kindness practice. And I have 2 loving kindness recordings on Insight Timer. They're about 20 minutes. One of them is called Befriending, And it's a much more secular approach. It's from Oxford University, the one that I'm doing on there. And then there's the traditional kind of Buddhist version, which is May You Be and all that. That's on there as well. And you can find lots by Chris Germer and Christian Neff just by Googling them. And I've got their names on the slides as well. They've got lots of books and resources. Talking to yourself with kindness is a practice that you can do for yourself over Christmas. Because things go wrong and we make mistakes and it's not as perfect as we hoped it would be. See if you can talk to yourself the way you would talk to your friend if things didn't turn out as perfect as she hoped it would be. See if you can just say, it's okay, I'm doing my best, something like that. My wee girl actually said to me the other day, I'm doing my best. She's only 3. I don't know what it was I said to her, but yeah, it's like to remember we're all doing our best and to talk to yourself kindly. And that's the Insight Timer. You've seen that before. You can just go on there and just Google my name in that free app. I'm going to do the poem. I'll close this. Any other questions? Okay. All right. So the poem is a poem about self-compassion, and it's called Just for Me by Ana Villalobos. What if a poem were just for me? What if I were audience enough because I am? Because this person here is alive, is flesh, is conscious, has feelings, counts? What if this one person mattered? Not just for what she can do in the world, but because she is part of the world and has a soft and tender heart. What if that heart mattered? What if kindness to this one mattered? What if she were not distinct from all others, but instead interconnected to others in her sense of being distinct, of being alone, of being uniquely isolated, the one piece removed from the picture? All the while vulnerable under deep layers of sedimentary defense. Oh, let me hide. Let me be ultimately great, ultimately shy. Remove me. Then I don't have to be, but I am. Through all the antics of distinctness from others, or not really theirs, I remain. No matter what my disguise, genius, idiot, glorious, scum. Underneath, it's still just me, still here, still warm and breathing and human, with another chance simply to say hi and recognize my tenderness and be just a little bit kind to this one as well, because she counts too. And be just a little bit kind to this one as well, because she counts too. And that's what I really want you to say to yourself. This one counts too. So as much as you're getting presents and doing all the things for everybody else this Christmas, include yourself in your own circle of kindness. And you'll be surprised, and I would love to hear actually, because we're gonna be finishing today until the 7th of January. I would love to hear if you can practice over the Christmas holidays, and even just standing there doing the wee breathing when you have a moment and being kind to yourself. And if you get any chance to sit down and do 10-15 minutes of meditation, of practice, and how it does affect your holiday time, your time with others, because traditionally, that's what they say. Everybody wants to, if you think you're enlightened, um, go spend a week with your family. So the family times is often the time when all the stress comes out. So how do we manage that stress, and how do we be kind to ourselves in the midst of any difficulties that might come up over Christmas? Yeah, so give yourself that gift if you can. Try to give yourself the gift of compassion and kindness for yourself. Let me see. Any comments or questions? We can do our sort of final check-in and just notice how we are since the start of the class to the end of the class. I'm going to pause, breathe. Roll our shoulders. That always feels good. Forward and back. Take a moment, put your hand on your heart and say, what do I need? What do I need right now? Nice slides. Let me see any more comments. Thank you, Lynn. Yes, I appreciate that comment. You're getting a lot from the sessions. I appreciate that. And Gail, looking forward to joining again in January. Yes, me too. Yes, so I think we have 2 weeks off for the Christmas season. It's finally here, and then we start again on the 7th of January.